right, let's go. We're here at Hankook. What is it called? Hankook? I'm not really sure the name, how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's Hankook or Hankook, but it's we're celebrating Formula E. I didn't actually think that Formula E was so big in the UK, so I'm very, very impressed to see a lot of people here. Come on, let's go ahead. As you can see, there are a lot of people here. This is pretty cool. Let's check this out. I wonder where the performance is happening. We should look for the performance, actually. So yeah, you see we're at it's a ABB Formula E World Championship, which is pretty cool, actually, if you think about it. There are a lot of people here. It's super crowded. Both girls, boys, families. You know, I feel like the entire London's here celebrating this event. Everyone's making their predictions. It's a blast. Let's go find out where the performance is happening. I actually want to see the concert. Come on. I would love to have this car in my backyard. Oh, look at this. Check this out. It almost feels like a go-kart. Like a little... Funny thing is, don't tell anybody, but I don't know how to drive, so this one's not for me. I think we're getting closer to the stage. I like how we show up when the concert is over and everyone's leaving. Let's try and shoot some interviews. Hi Jenny, nice to meet you. So please, can you tell me, what does it mean, girls on track? I love that slogan though. And I was talking actually earlier with our videographer about how coming here, I saw there are a lot of females here. I thought that was really cool because I didn't expect that on the way here. So yeah, can you elaborate, what does it mean, like girls on track? I'd love to hear about it.
So Girls on Track has dual meaning really. It's girls on track, physically getting the girls in the karting, in any kind of motorsport, maybe the physio, the fitness, all the things that go on behind the scenes, but it's also about getting girls on the right track. So on the track to a career within motorsport, maybe a career within STEM roles. So it can be seen in both ways. And although it's the word girls, we're very much for all ages of women. And as you've said, there's so many females here, which is absolutely brilliant. It's family friendly. We've got young little girls from 3 right up to 65 plus that are just here for fans. So it really is a great mix and diversity.
That's amazing. And what is it that your company does to get girls on the right track? You know, what is it that you do? I see the little disassembled car pieces here. I think that's really cool. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so Girls on Track is a program which is trying to get girls interested and women in motorsport. And we do it through 2 ways. We have inspirational events for schoolgirls aged 8 to 11 and 11 to 14. And they come along to us at a variety of locations and they get to experience lots of different job roles within the sport. So when they come in the morning, they don't really know much about what motorsport is. So we obviously teach them that. And then we teach them the fact that you could be a medic in motorsport, you could be a mechanic, you could be a technician, an engineer, a physio. So they take part in a whole host of different activities to really inspire and showcase what roles there are within the sport, a lot of them very much hidden. And then the other side of Girls on Track is our community. So we have nearly 7,500 members of the Girls on Track UK community, all females or males that obviously believe in the same sorts of thing, that have a passion for the sport. You know, we've got some little 8-year-old karters, we've got some ambassadors of ours that work in the industry, and the idea is just to be that support network in such a male-dominated space. We've grown very quickly from just over 1,000 to, like I said, 7,500 members now. We put on webinars every other month on different themes. So, for example, aerodynamics and motorsport, or how to volunteer. And it's amazing the reach that we now have globally. So we'll have people in the smallest islands of Indonesia watching a webinar about how to become a motorsport photographer. It's really, really quite humbling, actually, to see the growth so very quickly.
You mentioned how it's Formula E and racing as a whole is a male-dominated sport, which it is. And how is that like, being a female in this industry, and how is it like, inspiring, the younger girls, or even, you could be, like you said, 60-year-olds to get into industry? Like, can you explain a little bit?
So I started on this journey with Susie Wolf when she started Dare to Be Different back in 2016. And in 2020, we joined forces with the FIA to create the Girls on Track programme. And what it's allowed us to see is that there are now more women. Over the 7 years that this has been running, there are more women in the paddock, there are more women being visible in all sorts of different roles. And what's so heartfelt and warming to me is that I've been with this programme for 7 years, and I could tell you at least 10 people in that paddock over there that have come through the community, that have met people that we've introduced them to, that have put themselves out there through the confidence we've maybe given them a little bit of support with. And it's just so rewarding. And what I find is that anybody I meet, whether it's male or female, is so keen to give back, because they wish that when they were 11, 12, 13 making career choices, that they had role models to look up to in all sorts of roles, whereas it just wasn't there for a lot of them. So they want to support the next generation. They want to see more females, quite rightfully, in the paddock.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Nice to meet you. So you said you're with Immersive Experience, and today it's partnering with Green Hub. Can you explain what it is that you guys do?
All right, well, I'll start with Immersive Experience. We provide alternative methods of learning, and as well as trying to make more mentally friendly environments for learning. So instead of, let's say, sitting in classrooms where everything's rigid and written and writing down notes, we work with different technology that is available to us to bring about a more entertaining and engaging environment for people learning and taking advantage of what we provide. Over there we have a dome. Today the dome is a bubble that will take us away from this environment here into a green space, excluded. Same type of deal we have with the Oculus Rift Quest 2 VR headsets. You see, we're somewhat very industrial where we are today. With the headsets, we will take a step into the nature.
Okay, so once you put on the headsets, you're just like, in the wilderness, the wild.
It takes a little bit of imagination as well, but yes.
Okay.
But yes, essentially.
And what is that you guys do with, like, why are you at the Formula E event? What is the relationship between what Green Hub and, Immersive Experience? How does that combine to function?
Both of our companies do work at bettering lives of people. It is all about bettering the future of education, as opposed to the previous, because not every person learns the same. We are trying to diversify methods of learning.
Okay. And how long have you been with Immersive Experience? And what do you think? Do you feel like it's the future of like how people will, like kids will study and learn?
I've been with Immersive for around a year now, and by far it is a career. It's not a job anymore. By far, it's one of the best experiences I've had at the moment. When you experience a child looking into your eyes and getting glistening in their eyes because they just learned something and really enjoyed it. They made a memory of that day, learning something that will last them their whole lives. It's quite a fulfilling experience.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And do you feel like it's the future of the way people are going to study and learn in
Definitely.
universities and high schools?
With the VR headsets and with what we do with immersive, and I suppose what Greenhub does. Not only it is a way of getting more technology involved in our education system, but it also makes education cheaper. But making education cheaper, we can provide different methods for different people. We don't have to get a large number of people in the same room and provide them with one lesson plan. We can diversify even amongst the few students.
I love what you guys are doing. I think it's amazing. I wish I could take one of the headsets with me. All right, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
All right, so please tell me about your company, Mike. I'd love to hear more about it.
So when you enter the booth of SABIC, SABIC is a chemical company. So what we do is we are producing chemicals and selling chemicals is our business. But one outlet for chemicals is also plastic.
Okay.
So what we do is we sell the plastics to our customers and they can make parts for automotive out of it.
All right.
And so what they do is they do these battery trays or the lucid or also battery covers. That is for if you have the big battery in the future. By the way, that is half of the size of a battery.
Half of the size of a battery.
Sorry?
This is half of the size of a battery, or?
No, normally it is cut here, so would be here. So
So it's usually bigger than this.
Yeah, it is 1 meter by 2 meter. That is smaller. So the whole bottom or the whole ground of your car is battery.
Okay, and like, what is it that brought your company, like this business, to form the Formula E event?
Electrification is a big business. So it's changing the whole world. In the past, we were selling for bumpers or interior, and now the battery are new applications. And that we are entering the world of electrification. And with that, we did also the connection with the Formula E. So that is also the electrified racing. And we have a clear strategy, clear target around electrification. And then Formula E is a good fit to that.
Oh, then can you elaborate? Like you said, you have a clear strategy with electrification, and you pointed out that it's changing. Can you elaborate? How is it changing, and how does your company tend to change with the trajectory that electrification is going to right now?
Yeah, so the change is not really the change because 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there were no batteries, there were no application like this. So what we analyzed in the market is that these trends were popping up. It's not the biggest secret, right? So that there are electrified cars out there, but we decided to put a lot of effort to understand and develop materials which could be used for battery applications. So we have a huge team. By the way, it's called Blue Hero.
Blue Hero.
Blue Hero is also a big website where you see our ideas. So what we did is we analyzed different types of batteries and tried to develop and promote our solutions around that. And that is the change. So the change is not that we say, okay, in the past it was done this way or this way. The change is that it is a new field of application because batteries were not there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we entering this new field and putting effort, manpower, with that also money, to gain experience to support our customers in developing these parts for serial applications.
I think that's interesting. So what is your company's projection with sustainability then? Do you have any idea how you're able to manage to keep the creation of these batteries sustainable?
The whole CO2 footprint of a battery is influenced by the different materials. So and we try our best to reduce the CO2 footprint. Yeah? And as I said, there are many parts. For example, the cells. We are not producing the cells, but what we are supporting is the first step to make a battery more sustainable is, for example, to switch from metals to plastics. Plastics are better. So what is the next step is, okay, you have a end of life scenario. So what is happening? That is also sustainability, right? So what do you do with the old batteries? Are you burning them and emitting new CO2? We try to reuse them for something. So can you recycle this material? The best way to recycle this material and reuse it. So not burning it.
So are the materials that are used for your batteries typically recycled materials?
Not yet, because we are in the first wave of batteries. So the first wave is make the battery more sustainable from using greener materials. So plastic is better than steel. So that's the first step. Next step is reuse the plastic to reduce the CO2 footprint of these materials as well. And so we with Summit, we have a clear strategy around sustainability, right? So we have how to make our processes, our company, our materials more sustainable. And we will link all of that also to these materials which are used then for battery applications. But we can only support in that way that we analyze batteries and tell our customers, hey, you can use this material instead of steel or whatever. But at the end, there will also be a big part like the cells, which are in the hand of the cell producer. So then they're not our business. Then we cannot influence the CO2 footprint or the sustainability of such a battery.
That's very interesting. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.